Hi everyone, I am the Sarcastic Sloth, and welcome to my channel. So first off, I just want to say I missed out doing a video yesterday. I did intend to originally, but I did have issues with my computer connecting to the internet, so that was fun. The other thing I want to say is, even though we're covering her again, I'm aware that this is becoming a bit of a Trisha drama channel at the moment. At the end of the day, she is at the center of this drama maelstrom that is occurring, and I feel like in a way we sort of have to address the Frenemies podcast because it did come up with a lot of new things, it confirmed a lot of old things, and I feel that at the end of the day it's an important part of the story. So without further ado, let's crack on. So as per usual, everything I'm going to be discussing today are my own thoughts and opinions on the topic, and if you do not like that, ta-ra! First off, I'll discuss the standout clip from the entire episode, and it sort of shows very much what I would describe as Jeffrey's callousness towards those people that he claims to want to be friends with or is friends with. And if he's willing to say things like this to someone's face, then what is he saying about people behind their back? That's sort of the thought process that I had, which is very similar to what I thought when I saw what was happening with Hair by Jay, or Hair Minion as we call him. So the standout clip I'm going to put here.
I had forgotten about the suicide thing. I literally blacked that out because I remember telling the stories, and Jeffrey jokingly would say stuff like, well, there's a balcony, just do it now, that kind of stuff. And it's I know his jokes are that, but it was so because I was opening up about how I was how I tried to commit suicide 3 times a year before, and I didn't think I wanted to, that didn't seem like it was me. And seeing that now, all those people in the room, it's crazy because everyone in the room at the time was oh, because he smokes a lot of weed, Jeffrey, and I wasn't even smoking weed because I was just really trying to be sober or whatever. And they were just all the people being it's fine, totally, yeah, all this is comforting, being so fake and being oh, my suicide. It's fucking fucked
He told
up.
you there's a balcony, go jump?
Yeah.
Bruh.
And it's I'm thinking about, and again, it's not it was this aggressive way. I mean, I know he's Jeffrey's haha, there's this one right now, just go jump, that kind of stuff. It's
yeah, that's not a good joke.
I told everyone close to me when I came back, my mom, my sister, Shane, Ryan, everyone who I came back, I said this to them, obviously they told Jeffrey or something, but it's that in particular is so crazy that I made fun of, because that was such a real thing. And I was just I was yeah, I really want to die. I was opening up about it because it's so awful.
And then Hair by Jay received that as
So that's charming, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, if you went up to any person, especially someone that you considered not your best friend, but somewhat friendly to you, and they said to you, oh, well, maybe you should go jump off that balcony over there, how would you take that? I doubt that you'd be pleased. I doubt you'd be ha ha, he, isn't this person the greatest comedian of all time? Especially when you've been going through these thoughts in such close proximity to being told to jump off a balcony by someone that you considered to be your friend. It's just, I thought that was absolutely telling of what this person is like. You didn't know before. I mean, for me, since I started following this kind of thing, I've always seen him as someone to be extremely wary of. I know some people enjoy that sort of Mean Girls humor. I personally don't. Not something I personally find funny. I don't find bullying funny in any way, shape or form. To me, I would argue that that's just a passive-aggressive way of bullying someone and trying to keep them in their place somewhat. And like I say, no matter what you think about Trisha, I'm not her biggest fan by any means. I just don't feel that anyone should have to go through that, really, to be honest with you. I just think it's wrong. Hair Minion let the cat out the bag and basically corroborated everything that people were saying about Jeffrey, and what was being said on this Vegas trip is definitely the best thing that's ever happened to Trisha. And hopefully she's going to be able to, somewhat change her life and how she works on YouTube and how she treats people too. I'm not going to hold my breath because I don't do that for any of these people, but I just find that, the group and the setting that she's in now with H3, and you could argue that he's got his own problems too. I think out of the two of those, out of Jeffrey and Ethan, choose Ethan any day of the week. The fact as well that people like Oscar Wilde have corroborated this, again, you could argue that the fact that he's been standing up for Jeffrey up until this point, why is it only just now that he's coming out with this? It's either a case that he's caught onto a trend and he's jumping onto the trend, or he has sort of hit his limit. And you could also argue that why is his limit so much more than other people's limits in terms of accepting just completely wrong behavior. Like, Jeffrey impacts people's lives and how they feel about themselves, and he like, and at points he's just been downright racist, for Christ's sake. You know, that's up to Oscar Wilde how he chooses to reconcile all that in his mind. Although I do find it interesting as well that he dropped in a little piece of knowledge saying that Jeffrey, during the course of the whole Dramageddon 3 last year, was saying to Oscar, in as many words, how do I cut ties with Shane because he's damaging my brand? What is friendship to this guy? If you haven't seen this by now, he completely values like money and image over friendship. As much as I don't like Shane, and I believe that he does the exact same thing, Jeffrey was willing to cut the cord on him, even though Shane was standing by him and was willing to go down with that ship because Jeffrey, quote unquote, Jeffrey has stood by him. Isn't that funny? All of these people are just turning on each other at the moment. I mean, it's quite entertaining to me, if nothing else. You know, how telling it is, like what is friendship? What is friendship to these people? Clearly it meant more to Trisha than it did to a lot of these guys, because they're willing to just drop each other at the drop of a hat. But even with Trisha, at this point now, when Shane said that he didn't believe her about these things with Jeffrey from the Vegas trip and the bullying and the saying that she should jump off a balcony and all of this, even at that point, she still wishes him well, and she still wants his comeback to be, you know, brilliant, and she's not, you know, trying to cancel him, in her words. Another thing that I thought was absolutely crazy was that apparently Shane was the one who told Gabby Hanna about Trisha having herpes. And that's what blew up that entire drama. Like I say, it's no surprise to me. It's no surprise to me that this is all unraveling at this point, because if you're going to build the foundations to your house on sand, then don't be surprised when it all comes crumbling down. If everything's built on lies and being two-faced and one-upmanship and trying to just get ahead and just money over people, then that's what you get, mate. That is what you get. A quote that I really liked from Trisha in regards to Jeffrey was that he has to live with himself, and that's his hell. This is all when she was saying that she feels that Jeffrey's a bad guy, but he's always going to win. He's that bad guy who always wins. I've got to say I somewhat agree with her on that, because his entire image up until the last year has been built on being the bad guy. So the people who like him, the people who follow him, they enjoy that mean girl aspect. They enjoyed the fact that he was just gross and just horrendous to a lot of different people to get ahead. They enjoyed that. They're also willing to believe that he's changed now, just because he's just stayed out of drama a little bit over the course of the last year. It's become very self-evident that he's just a master manipulator of whoever, be it Shane, be it Trisha, be it, you know, any of these people. And even his little minions like Hair by Jay. Ethan brought up a good point on the Frenemies podcast. The fact that Hair Minion felt that he could be like this, and he could, you know, I think he was trying to win more favor from Jeffrey. So to win more, to be like that, to try and receive more favor from Jeffrey, obviously to me thinks that, yeah, Jeffrey's definitely not changed in that regard. He's, if anything, he's just better at hiding it than he was previously. Like, he's not into the drama, he's not into the circus, when at one point he was the driving force of that circus. You know, it's no coincidence that he's been at the centre of every Dramageddon. There's no coincidence whatsoever. And Ethan made a very good point. He said, if you hang around with people who like mean people, don't hang out with them. And I think that's a good way to end this particular video. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Like and subscribe and all of that good stuff if you enjoyed the video. And as per usual, stay safe out there.